Hello everyone, my name is Mia Vanessa Prom, and this is my creative critical reflection of my film opener called Try Hard. Question 1. How does your product use or challenge conventions, and how does it represent social groups or issues? One of the key conventions of coming of age is utilizing a strong character arc and physical changes, which I incorporated in my project by displaying Mia, the main character, who is an insecure and self-conscious teenager. The representation I strived to achieve was the teenage girls who feel the need to change themselves to appear more beautiful. I aimed to reflect these stereotypes through Mia, scrolling on Instagram, comparing herself to the beauty standard, putting on makeup to hide her blemishes, working out vigorously, and putting on extravagant outfits. The shots I use, such as showing jeans and feeling like she does not look good in them, and is an example of a scene that supports the constant need to please others with appearance. The demographics are usually between the ages 13 and 18, where high school starts, and low, middle, and high-class young women, specifically in the United States, endure the same struggle of wanting to fit in. Since external validation is implanted at this time, I use long shots of me in a boring pajama outfit to an all dressed up and glam outfit to show the comparison and further prove my point of what is considered societally attractive and what isn't. Furthermore, I also use a visual and stylistic convention of using nostalgic cinematography. In the beginning and end of the film, I make a full circle moment where I throw the camera into frame. Then, at the very end, little Mia, portrayed by Victoria Alexis Miranda, was displaying, saying, "I like me," to evoke a memory where she was fully carefree and acceptant of who she is with no care of what others think of her. This further reinforces the stereotype and identity conflict of actually genuinely being herself, like in her childhood, rather than looking good to impress and please others. By displaying the struggle of fitting in as a teenager and discovering oneself, my product creates a unique approach to the coming-of-age genre, while representing modern-day teenagers in a meaningful way. Question 2. How does your product engage with audiences, and how would it be distributed as a real media text? My target audience is teenage females, and I engaged by using interactive elements such as social media notifications, visual of mean comments popping up on her feed. The narrative of Mia trying on multiple outfits, casual clothes to a pink cocktail dress, is a struggle and a relatable topic for many teenagers who go through the struggle of not knowing what outfits are considered too much or too lazy in modern society. My distribution strategy is posting on Instagram Reels, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, and Facebook in a horizontal film format. Even though the film is not distributed in print, theater, or TV, social media is a crucial tool to get any form of messaging out there globally. My product displays how social media in comparison, especially with my scene of scrolling mindlessly, looking at unrealistic models on Instagram, can leave a negative impact. But sharing a relatable form of content can unite teenagers from around the world who can relate to the issue. This message deserves recognition of others, knowing that they are not alone in the struggle of being a teenager and battling negative body image in modern society, and the best way to give the video visibility is through the same exact platforms that cause the issue. Social media usage has skyrocketed, especially among young audiences, considering this film is made for teenagers. The visual elements such as makeup, working out, looking at Instagram models are perfect examples of attracting and maintaining a youthful audience. My product relies heavily on Instagram, and the basis of growth is through likes, comments, reposts, and saves. My strategy is to post announcements leading up to the final product in a countdown format, and continuing to repost the film on several platforms to peak engagement and increase the chances of more outreach. This allows the film to be easily accessible, and I will also allow for feedback open to the public on how the message truly portrays cyberbullying, considering notifications through graphics in one of the scenes is displaying Mia's hardship when it comes to coming in terms with her own self-doubt. By leveraging digital platforms and incorporating audience-driven content, my product ensures engagement and accessibility. Question 3. How did your production skills develop throughout this project? At the beginning of this project, my skills in filmmaking were at a beginner level, but through practice, I improved by utilizing my very first LED light attached to a tripod that I was able to change the colors on. For example, I made the lights purple to evoke the feeling of luxury and beauty. Initially, I struggled with the sound effect creation in CapCut, but I learned by watching tutorials and experimenting with CapCut to create phone notification sounds. Additionally, I had no audio planned. I was expecting to use my camera audio, but I learned to be familiar with synchro microphones. I struggled at first figuring out which input and output areas go in certain areas, but I used tutorials online to solve the issue. Another issue I had when filming was making sure my shots were in focus since I'm filming myself individually. I bought a monitor on Amazon to ensure I could see exactly what was going on in my camera, and it was clear and a larger scale. What the most difficult part of production was filming individually because I had no team. I had no film crew or behind-the-scenes recorder to film me, which made my independent work a struggle to get every shot in focus. I learned to play around with settings such as portrait, manual, and AV mode. Even though I already had experience taking photos and filming, the use of a monitor and tripod was difficult since the space I had was very small. The 50mm lens caused depth of field being very narrow, which meant when I had to film from extremely far away, it was difficult. I had to constantly change back and forth between lens focus since walking out of frame would make the entire video blurry. Consequently, I had to continuously refilm myself, which took about 5 times each, but the end result allowed for a completely clear focus. I experimented and figured out manual mode was the most beneficial due to the low f-stop, which allows for a blurrier background, giving an illuminated effect on the main character, which was my main objective. By working on this project, I significantly improved my ability to film and gained a better understanding of film. Question number 4. How did you integrate technologies, software, hardware, and online in this project? Technology played a major role in my project from pre-production to editing. I use CapCut for editing software and a Canon EOS camera to film. As for audio, I use CapCut to create sound effects. YouTube was an important online tool to find the music Prom Queen by Beach Bunny and to extract the audio for the opening music. At first, using the overlay tool in CapCut was a challenge, since I wanted the blur effect in the background of my subject. The remove background tool was giving me a few struggles, but with enough drafts, I was able to edit off my iPhone 14 Pro Max. I purchased CapCut Pro to ensure I had all the essential tools to make my product the best possible. CapCut allowed me to use the animation tool for text, remove background tool, and filters that allowed for a more cinematic effect, as well as the fade to black and white and pixelated effect. Originally, I started editing on my iPad Pro, but each clip started becoming more delayed and lagged uncontrollably. So for the makeup scene, I use a vanity light at full illumination to display how makeup can make oneself appear beautiful. Therefore, I started editing digitally on my phone's CapCut instead, and platform was easy, convenient, and no technical difficulties. As for research tools, I was unsure of how to format and credit, but rewatching multiple YouTube videos on who to credit, I was able to master the basics on the order of crediting. As for color grading, I ensured that each scene had the vibrance tool, which turned each clip from dim lighting to more saturated and lively. Selecting Prom Queen for the song was a music choice that relates to the full story, and I made sure each clip matched with each lyric in a synchronized manner to tell the meaning of the story through a song that is highly popular for Gen Z. For example, one of the lyrics says, "Maybe I should try harder." Then, I display me working out and falling down, showing the failures with impressing others. In the beginning of the video, the title "Try Hard" pops in scribble letters, changing animation. This evokes a very youthful and teenage effect, which shows more authenticity. The sound effect was a record player in the beginning, and for transitions to evoke a similar sound of a VHS record player to evoke a sense of nostalgia from childhood memories. I also was able to adapt to the changing of software, shifting the technological hardware and experimenting with a new tripod. At the end, I added a fade effect but made it slow and kept the audio until the very end of little Mia giggling to highlight the sense of happiness she felt when she felt no need to impress others or conform to society. There was also an important lesson I had to learn because I had an issue with the camera that kept falling due to a loose tripod handle and heaviness. What I had to do was learn to tighten the tripod and figure out which handle tightened the height of the tripod or direction it was moving. Technology significantly enhanced my project by giving me the resources to create proper graphics, as well as finding a font for the credits in my opener are crucial to the theme. Using a combination of software, hardware, and online tools, I was able to create a professionally and engaging media product. And that's the end of my CCR. Thank you so much for watching.